Do any of you guys remember that old Disney Channel movie from the late 90s called Xenon, the girl from the 21st century? Zoom, 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 I make my heart go boom, boom, boom. Zoom, zoom, zoom! I should stop, shouldn't I? Hello everybody, this is SeetherCord and welcome to yet another installment of my SeetherTalks series here on YouTube. Now for today's topic, I'm going to be discussing something along the lines that involves other specific people within the furry community themselves, which I've actually done with otherkin, but now I'm actually going to do it with another subject known as Popufurs. So if you don't know what Popufurs are exactly, just take by the name, it's a nickname term, popular furries. And usually basically with these Popufurs, which are popular people within the furry fandom, a lot of people do see them as actual staples of the furry community itself. Like some notable examples of Popufurs include Majira Strawberry, Uncle Kage, To the Ranting Griffin, Cosmic Woofy, as well as Telephone, and just a bunch of others. And while it does imagine to be cool to be a Popufur, like being the center of attention, a lot of people actually do kind of say kind of a negative connotation towards Popufurs, saying that they're very stuck up and elitist and etc. Now, if it comes down to me personally about my opinion of Popufurs, I'd say it does not necessarily determine the fact that they're popular to determine what their personality / character is actually like for themselves when they represent themselves in the furry fandom. I also want to point out that I am in no way a Popufur and never really actually see myself achieving that standard, so I can't really completely speak for Popufurs themselves, such as, Majira Strawberry and Cosmic Woofy and such. But let me get specifically into what I personally think goes through the minds or what happens with Popufurs exactly. Now, let me clear out that I completely understand that when you're bombarded with tons of different people wanting to talk with you, it can be a little crazy with keeping up with everybody. Now, this goes for Popufurs who have a bunch of people who are constantly messaging them on social media, wanting to talk to them at conventions, and I can understand you can't keep up with exactly every one of them once your fan base or yourself is built up within the community of furries. This also even goes for celebrities and such, and that can lead to a lot of people thinking that you're stuck up just because of the fact you can't always acknowledge them, but you gotta understand, a lot of these Popufurs can't acknowledge and talk with and associate with everyone equally. It's just virtually impossible when you get to a certain point. Now, on a more negative connotation when it comes to specific Popufurs who have kind of this elitist kind of jerk mentality, I won't deny there are certain Popufurs that do act like that. Like one instance I've heard is that a certain Popufur, which I'm not going to name the name of, was apparently having parties at his house and he would not let you come into the party unless you were of some form of high ranking, popularity. Now, I just want to clear out of the way, this is just based off of something I've heard. I'm not saying that this is actually something that happened. I'm just going off of word of mouth of what I said. Be careful with rumors, people. Just be careful with those. It is a really shallow thing, but I will say that for the most part, this is really small and there's not really that many Popufurs that I've seen, that I've interacted with, that act that way. But I will say that at the end of the day, personally, it goes back to my main point is that I don't think personally that every Popufur is cool or bad. I think it does honestly come down to the end of the day what the singular person is like when it comes to them being popular and how they interact with other people, because at the end of the day, I don't really view them as godlike or anything. I don't view anyone as godlike, because at the end of the day, all these popular Popufurs and all these celebrities, they're just regular people just like us. There's nothing that makes them superior as a human being or not, and it doesn't make them any less of a human being compared to you either. So I don't get why we should compare, view them as if they're these godlike figures that certain people do make them out to be. And just one last time to really mention, when it comes down to being a Popufur and what you think of them, just don't let the fact that they simply are popular represent what you think of all of them as a whole. Just take some time to really get to know them and observe them before you make judgments like that. Because at the end of the day, we all have our flaws and we all have our pros, and it just all comes down to what we make of ourselves. So that pretty much wraps up this episode of SeetherTalks for today. Thank you guys so much for listening to me talk about Popufurs today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed, please consider hitting that like button to further help out my channel, as well as subscribing if you have not already to further help me out as well. And I also want to say thank you guys so much for getting us to almost 500 subscribers. It means so much to me over that. Oh my God! As well as thank you guys also for helping me, just help my Mr. Epsilon video blow up. That means so much as well. Thank you. And that's pretty much been this video for today. I've been SeetherCord, and I will see you guys in another video. So, goodbye, everyone. I tried to be cool by like, like spinning in my chair away, and I nearly knocked down my tea that's next to me. So, oh God, goodbye everyone.